Where are others? They'll join. We'll wait for 1 or 2 minutes already. Late. Anyone can respond. Are you able to see?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We'll start or wait for your classmates. While they join, let me take attendance. Ambrish.
Yes, ma'am.
Answer your attendance, Ambrish. Anu.
Yes, ma'am.
Ashok.
Present,
Ashok.
ma'am. Present, ma'am.
Benita.
Present, ma'am.
Bhavishya.
Present, ma'am.
Chaitra. Diksha.
Present, ma'am.
Deepika.
Ma'am.
Murli Krishna. Harshit. Kishore.
Eugene, ma'am.
Manjunath.
Yes, ma'am.
Naina.
Yes, ma'am.
Nilanjan. Nishant. Rajeshwari. Ramya.
Present, ma'am.
Present, ma'am.
Rashmi.
Present, ma'am.
Srinivas.
Present, ma'am.
Sunil.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. How was your placement training? Okay. So we have started in the last class, module 3. So in the module 3, what we are doing is we are seeing what is phishing and identity theft. So what is phishing? Phishing, a type of email scam that steals your identity. So what do we mean by phishing? Phishing is uh, it is one type of mail. So what that mail will be doing is it is trying to steal your identity. What is your name? What is from where? All those details it is trying to extract. That is what is called as a phishing. An email fraudulent technique. So what is that type? What is phishing? It is a one type of technique. How? Through email, in which the culprit sends out email looking legitimate in an effort to accumulate personal and financial information from recipients. So how this phishing is being done? The phishing is being done using emails. So people send emails. So this, I think even now phishing is also ruled out. It is coming down because everything now it started with the WhatsApp thing. So that's the thing we can see. Messages like messages likely come from well-known and trustworthy sites, PayPal, eBay, MSN, Yahoo, Best Buy, and American Online. So phishers use a different social engineering and email spoofing to try to trick their victims. So what is Fisher? Fishers use a different social engineering and email spoofing tricks, try to trick their victims. So now I want to know what Sunil is doing, whether he is watching, listening to my class or not. I want to know. So in that case, what I do, I may use some techniques. In between, I call his name and ask him some questions, something like that we do. Same way here, even in a fisher, even in phishing. So what the fishers will be doing, the person who will be trying to use some tricks to identify their victims. The act of sending an email to a user and falsely claiming to be an established legitimate organization to scam their users into giving up private information to be used for identifying theft. So what is that we are doing? The act of sending an email. So what is that we are doing? It is one type of act where sending an email to a user and falsely claiming to be an established legitimate organization to scam their users into giving up private information to be used for identifying theft. So what we are doing? The act of sending an email to a user and falsely claiming to be an established legitimate organization to scam the user into giving up private information to be used to identify theft. The email steer the user to visit a website where they are asked to update their personal information, visit their password, and information about their credit card, bank account number, etc. Like this, we do that is what is called as a phishing. The email steers the user to visit a website where they are asked to update their personal information. So what are the ways they may do? They may ask you complete your personal details. So in that case, they may ask you their passwords and information about their credit card, bank accounts, bank account number, etc. Like this, they try to ask. That is what is phishing is doing. So in the last class also I have explained how the in the world. So from where the spamming spam has started and what was the volume, which country was having more spam volumes. So we can see here 13.9 in India was the first rank where the spam percentage of spam volumes was original. So the same way, Russia 9.0, Vietnam 7.9, South Korea 6, Finland 6, China 4.7, Brazil 4.5, and United States 3.2. So this a well-known company in the world, that is Cisco. It is a networking company which done some survey and gave the report saying that which was a country which was having a high percentage of spam volumes. First was ranked as India. So the same way, what is spam emails? Also known as a junk emails. So what it is being done? It is also known as junk emails. Identical messages are sent to numerous receipts. Popular medium for phishers to spam users to enter personal information on fake websites. A person who creates electronic spam are called as spammers. Spam emails, also known as junk emails, identical messages are sent to numerous receipts. Popular medium for phishers to scam users to enter personal information on fake websites. A person who creates electronic spam is called as a spammer. So, what is spam emails? Also known as a junk emails. Identical messages are sent to numerous receipts. Popular medium for fisher to scam users to enter personal information on fake websites. Person who creates electronic spam is called as a spammer. And types unsolicited bulk emails will send a bulk emails. So now I may have a group then which send a spam mails to bulk emails we send for a groups. So that was one type, and another one is commercial social emails. So we get so many advertisements even in our mails also. So what is that advertisement? If you take this much is a 10% of our price is down, something like this. The commercial messages also we get through a bulk. So that is, these are the types of spam emails. And tactics, what are the tactics they are used by the phishers? Names of legitimate organization. So organization now BMSIT&M. So this is the institute where we are working. So they may change it to B. It looks as M. They would have changed it as N. BNSIT, something like that. They may change, and when we read suddenly we see that it is BMSIT. So legitimate, or they may change. The fishers try to change the small letters, one letter, something like that, and they try to use a tactics. So from a real employee. So maybe from BMSIT college only, they may leak one person would have been given some bribe and they would have leaked out all the institute details from maybe from a real employees. The same way URL that look right. So now we have when you click on your Google and say BMSIT&M, you will get so many other links also, and you should know which one is the right one, which is the false one. So that's what it look URLs also URL that looked right. So then urgent messages, maybe sometimes we get urgent messages. Phrases used to entice the user, verify your account. You have won the lottery. If you don't respond within 48 hours, your account will be closed. Something like this, they may be keep sending. Phrases used to entice the user, verify your account. You have won the lottery. So maybe something like verify your account. They may send a link and say that click on this and verify your account. This is also one phrase they may use it. Or they may say as you have won the lottery. So they may say that you have won so much amount and you will be receiving if you click on this, something like that they may be doing. That is also one type of phrase. In the same way, if you don't respond within 48 hours, your account will be closed. So this is, we think it is emergency and we click on that and we become a victim. So that's what here we should be very careful enough when we are doing the such type of informations. The same way, Hawk's email, deliberate attempt to deceive or trick a user into believing or accepting that something is real. Hawk's email may or may not be spam emails. Methods of phishing, dragnet. So what is this dragnet is doing? It is using a spammed emails to identify using this method, they try to identify or steal some information. One method, that is a dragnet. So how they are doing? They are using emails. How, which may emails? Spammed emails. Then it's a road and read, identify the specific prospective victims in advance and convey false information to them to prompt their disclosure of personal and financial data. So what is this rod and reel is doing? So identifying specific prospective victim in advance and convey false information to them to prompt their disclosure or personal and financial data. Then Lobster Pot focuses upon use of spoofed websites. That is what the Lobster Pot is doing. Then Gillnet relies far less on social engineering technique, and phishers introduce malicious code into email and websites. So then what are the other techniques which the phishing can be done? They may use a web link. They manipulate the URL and say that, so now we have a BMSIT .ac.in, something like that if we have. They may change it to, the phishing people can change it to BMSIT and M. So that's how we feel that, okay, this is also right. So then we can click and they may try to take some information. That's what using the URL manipulation. Then filter aviation. So how this filter will be done? They'll be trying to whatever information I want. So now in BMSIT college in 4th semester, MCA students, how many 4th semester students are there? There are so many students, and in that I want to know the information of some students, so who are staying near to college. So then how we use a filters. So in the same way here also, in the same thing, they use a filter aviation. Then website forgery. So even the websites only, you would have seen about a signature forgery. In the same way, website forgery can be done. Then flash phishing, you can see the advertisements will be coming out, zooming in, zooming out. So that is what is called as a flash phishing. Then social phishing. In social media, we try to get the so many information. That is what is a social phishing. Then phone phishing, we try to call through a phone and say that, okay, we got so many things, so and so. Then that is what is called as a phone phishing. Phishers usually send mails, sends millions of email messages, pop-up windows, etc., that appear to be looking official and legitimate. So then phishers usually send millions of email messages, pop-up windows, etc., that appears to be looking official and legitimate. So that is what is called as a phishing technique. Then spur phishing, a method of sending a phishing message to a particular organization to gain information, to gain organizational information for a more targeted social engineering. So what this is being done, it is for organization, not for individual people. Now I want to know what is TCS is doing, so that I, within how many months one project is completing, whether before that can I release some information they want to take. So then that is what is a method of sending a phishing message to a particular organization. It is not for a one people, it is for the organization to gain organizational information for more targeted social engineering. Spurfisher sends email that appears genuine. So what is this Spurfisher is doing? It appears as if it is a genuine. Then the message might look like as if it has come from your employer or from a colleague who might send an email message to everyone in the company, such as a person who manages the computer system. It would include request for username and a password. So like this, there may be so many. Now, if I, in my name, you may get some information. So then you people start clicking that. But based on your information, we try to use a sperm phishing. So whiling a specific form of phishing and or a spur phishing targeting executive from the top management in the organization, usually from private companies. The objective is to swindle the execution into revealing confidential information. Whaling target C-level executives sometimes with the help of information gleaned through sperm phishing aimed at installing malware for key logging or other backdoor access mechanism. So that is a whaling. So email sent in the whaling scams are designed to masquerade as a critical business email sent from a legitimate business body and or business authority. That is a whaling case. Whaling fishers have also forked official looking FB subphenomena emails and claimed that the manager need to click a link and install specific software to weave the subphonia. Then types of phishing scams. What are the different types of phishing scams we can get? Deceptive phishing, malware phishing, keylogger, session hijacking, in-session phishing, web torsion, farming, system reconfiguring attacks, data theft, content injection phishing, man-in-middle phishing, search engine phishing, SSL certificate phishing. So like this, there are so many different types of phishing scams can be done. So one is descriptive phishing. So descriptive phishing means we are trying to describe something, but that information can be taken. So that is what is a descriptive. The same way malware based phishing. So someone information, how, let me give, so now Sunil is doing something and I want to know what information is doing, on which project he is doing, and I try to take those information. That is a malware based phishing. The same way keylogger, I want to know how much amount is there in one of your friends account. Then I want to know what is a login keys. So that is that method trying to hack your logins, username and passwords. That is what is called as a keyloggers. Then session hacking, hijacking. You could have seen some banking websites. If you don't enter your OTP within a limited time, it will give you a session expired. So hacking such type of things is called as a session hijacking. In the same way, in-session phishing. So session hijacking means after that, you may say you will get a OTP into your mobile, and within 1 or 2 minutes you have to enter that OTP. If you are not entering, that will say that it is your time is elapsed. Try after some time, something like that you get. So in session, within that time only, they also, the phishing people are trying to take your information. That is in session phishing. Then web torsions. So you would have created, now we have a college website and we try to give all the information in the website. Then trying to hack our website itself, then that is what is called as a web torsion. Then farming. So we have so many components in the website. Maybe admission, maybe your placement, department. In department, there are so many other details. trying to take from what is my view of involvement. So then such type is called as a farmer. Then system reconfiguration attacks, you would have seen sometime if I insert pen drive and the same pen drive if I go insert in some other thing, my folders or files will be hidden. So what is that? It is reconfiguring the attacks. So what it is doing, it will be disabling all and hiding all your files, maybe folders, files. So the such type is called as a system configuration attacks. Data theft, I want to know what is your personal data, what's your name, what's your age, what is your, where you have studied, your degree, other details we try to hack, maybe personal data or financial data, whatever. So such type of taking, that is what is called as a data theft. So in the same way, content injection phishing, I want to know what are the contents I am trying to give. So now in this slide, I have a types of phishing scam. So what I'm doing, I'm giving what are the types of scams can be done in the phishing. So in that case, content, based on the content, we try to inject, and that is what is called as a phishing. So the man in middle phishing. So particular thing, all these can be done with respect to a man. That is what is called as a man in middle phishing. Search engine phishing, try to give a search engine, enter the details. When we are entering Google, we enter something, then I may get so many things. That is what is called as a search engine phishing. Then SSL certificate phishing, certificates. Sometimes we may manipulate some certificates. So such type is called as a SSL certificate. Then what is distributed phishing attacks? So first, before moving on distributed, what is centralized? Centralized means everything will be placed in one place, and we try to extract all from that particular place. In case if that system gets corrupted, then whole data will be lost. To avoid this, we are using a distributed systems. So in the same way, even in distributed phishing, what they do is when your information is distributed, the information may not be present in one system, it may be present in some other system. To hack such type, moving from one system to another system, that is what is called as a distributed phishing attacks. An advanced form of phishing attacks that works as per victim personalization of the location of sites, collecting credential and convert transmission of credentials to a hidden coordination center run by the phisher. So that is what is a distributed phishing attacks. A large number of fraudulent web hosts are used for each set of lured emails. Each server collects only a tiny percentage of a victim personal information. Phishing toolkits and spy phishing. A phishing toolkit is a set of scripts or programs, quite expensive. Phishers use hypertext preprocessor (PHP) to develop the phishing kits. Most of the phishing kits are advertised and distributed at no charge, and usually these free phishing kits, also called do-it-yourself phishing kits. So these are the different ways we may have. There are so many things. So we may not be knowing who is spying us, what are the tools they are using, whether they are using a mobile to record or they are using something spy cameras, maybe something like that. Similarly here with respect to phishing. So in the phishing also there are so many kits available, tool kits are available, and spy phishing is also available. What they do is toolkits for a set of script programs. So now in your program, I need to know where the data is, how that I can manipulate the data. So that is what is phishing. But doing this is quite expensive, doing such stuff, because website, anything will be getting only exe thing, where they will not release the script. Means programming they will not be giving. So only they'll be giving the exe files. So then using exe files, extracting so many things and manipulating it is not easy. So that is what quite expensive. Then what the phishers will be doing, generally they use a hypertext preprocessor. What they do, hypertext, I think you'll be knowing what is HTTP, same way here. In the hypertext before HTTP, before HTTP only is getting, before that preprocessor means before we extract a HTTP, from there only the information can be extracted using a phishing kit. In the same way, phishing countermeasures, the countermeasure prevent malicious attacks that phisher may target to gain the unauthorized access to the system, to steal the relevant personal information about the victims from the system. It is always challenging to recognize or judge the legitimacy of a website while Googling. So that is what is a phishing countermeasure. The countermeasures prevent malicious attacks that phishers may target to gain the unauthorized access to the system to steal the relevant personal information about the victims from the system. It is always challenging to recognize or judge the legitimacy of a website while Googling. SPS algorithm to thwart phishing attacks with sanitizing proxy system. SPS means what? Sanitizing proxy server. Web phishing attacks can be immunized by removing part of the content that entice the netizen into entering their personal information. So you would have seen that even what the Ajax are doing, when we are refreshing complete page, it is not required to refresh. Only which content has to be updated, only that one can be updated. Take an example: when you're watching through your text your matches, only the overs should be changed, number of bowls will be changed, not required to change complete details of the players. So only change the how many bowls, what are the runs, only that part has to be changed. Similarly here also, not required to change complete thing, only required to change some part of it, so that you can get the personal information. That is what is called as a sanitizing proxy system. Then identifying theft. So ID theft, fraud and that involve someone pretending to be someone else to steal money or get other benefits. The person who identify is used can suffer various consequences when he or she is held responsible for a preparatory actions. So what is this identity theft is being done? Fraudulent that involves someone pretending to be someone else to steal money or to get the others benefits. The person who identify is used can suffer various consequences when he or she is held responsible for preparatory actions. As per that, the statistics have been taken as per Federal Trade Commission. So this is one type of company where the statistics has been taken based on how much was the frauds. Survey has been done, and we can see here credit card frauds were 26%. So if you have a credit card and some people were stealing the information and trying to bluff, so then such type of credit card frauds was 26%. Then bank frauds, some other people is using my debit card or my internet login. So there may be some such type of frauds. That is what is a banking frauds. So then employment frauds. So stealing the information. Maybe some person is not working in BMSIT, but outside he is saying that he is working in BMSIT. So that the such type of frauds are employment frauds, that is 12%. Then government frauds, 9%. So maybe in the government sector also there are some frauds such as a 9%. Then loan fraud, that is 5%. Maybe some people are making a fraud in that loan fraud. Personal identification information, personal identifiable information. Frauders attempts to steal the elements mentioned below. Why do they want the frauders what they want? So that's what here mentioned here. The fraud and what the fraud people are doing, they want to know what is a full name, because in your class also there are so two Deepikas, but how to differentiate between those two people with their initials? In case if initials are also same, then how? So what we have to do? So that's what here we are trying to full name, national identification number, telephone and mobile phone number, drive license number, credit card number, digital identity, that is example email address, online account ID and password, birth date and place name, then face and fingerprints. So that's what here personal identification number. Fraudulent attempts to steal the elements mentioned below, the full name, identification of I want to know what is the full name of Sunil or Srinivas. Any of your classmate details I want to know. That is what a full name. The national identification number. Now I want to know what is a Sunil's USN number. 1BY 19 or 18, MCA or 20. What is a USN? Either 19, 18, 20. So I want to know. So the national identification number. Same way here, we have a SSN, telephone and mobile phone number. So I want to know what is the phone number of Srinivas so that I can call him. So that's what I may require. Or driving license number. So I want to know what is the driving license of Srinivas. So in the same way, credit card number I want to know so that I can do some shopping based on that. We may use a credit card number. Then digital identity, I want to know what is a mail address, what is the account ID and what is the password. The same way I want to know what is a birth date and a birthplace name. Then face and fingerprint, what is a face and what is a fingerprints. Frauder generally searches the following about an individual: first or last name and the age, country, state or city of residence, gender, name of the school, college or workplace, job position, grades and or salary or criminal records. So these are the frauder generally searches the following about an individual: first or last name, age, country, state or city of residence, gender, name of the school or college or a workplace, job position, grades and or a salary, and criminal records. Then type of identity theft: financial identity theft, criminal identity theft, identity cloning, business identity theft, medical identity theft, synthetic identity theft or child identity theft. So these are the different types of identity thefts I want. So I would have seen we want to know what is the address proof. We want to know what is a face, identifying the face. So then what we give the photo. Then I want to know what is the financial identity. So suppose if you take a loan, the bank people will ask you 6 months transaction. So they are trying to check out how many transactions you have done. So in the same way, if you have any case, if on your name, if you have FIR or something like that in the police station, then the criminal, if you want to go some other country, then they'll just check out, give you a passport or visa. They check out whether are there any criminal cases or not. That is what a criminal identity theft. Then identify cloning. To do all this, they try to identify what is your details. That is what is a cloning. Business identity theft: so I want to know where you're working, what is your salary, what is your designation, all those. So then that is what is business. So maybe you're not only employee, you may be the owner of the company. Then I want to know how much transactions you are doing for a day, how many transactions you are doing for a month, like that. So then that is what is called as a business. Then medical theft, you may have some medical things, maybe like you may have now suppose the corona is, whether it is spreading or not spreading, whether I have positive or a negative, some details we want to know. Then that is what is called as a medical identity theft. Then synthetic identity theft, uh, what are the synthetic identity, how is whether I'm able to manage, whether it is able to sync with you. Now you people are online, even I am also online, whether I have any network issues, whether I have a synchronized with your system, with your mobile, whatever you're using. So then such type is called as a synthetic theft, identity theft. Child identity theft, even I showed you so many details using the children. They try to hack some detail, hide your children and try to blackmail them. That is what is called as a child identity theft. Then techniques of ID theft, human based methods or computer based methods. So how do we do all this? We may try to do them using a human based. Human based means person is involved. Maybe I want to know information about your fourth semester 20 students who have taken a cyber this one cyber security subject. Out of 60, how many have taken? I want to know. But how will I know? I may take somebody's information and take. That is what is a human based method. Or sometimes using the computer's technique only, we try to use them. That is what is called as a computer based technique. So this is what your module says to us. Any doubts regarding this? Any doubts? Anybody can respond. Any doubts? So this is about your phishing and identity. Phishing and identity. So what is phishing? Phishing means stealing the information. How to steal the information? Maybe through using an email. Email method. Stealing the information using the mails or extracting all your information. Then such type of doing stealing the information is called as a phishing. So this we have seen in the Cisco's company has done a survey, and it gives us what is the percentage of spam volume, and what was which country was ranking as a first, and what was the percentage of spam volumes. The same way, how the spam emails. So what do we mean by spam emails? You would have seen in your email or Gmail, some spam mails will be coming. We just click on that and say it is spam. Means that next time it should not come to my inbox. Instead of that, it should go to the spam part of the memory. So that's what is a junk emails. Then identical messages are sent to numerous receipts. Same identity. Many people. So now I have sent a mail, but I would have not sent a mail, but someone else has sent a mail saying for cybersecurity students. So that is what I identify. Then popular medium for phishing. Why do they require? They may require to extract your personal information or fake websites. Then person who creates electronic spam is called as a spammer, who do all these things using a computer or using a laptop or using something else. So such type of person who is doing all sorts of things is called as a spammer. And it can be done in two ways. One is using a bulk mails they can do, or using a commercial advertisements also they can do. In the same way, what are the tactics they are using, phishers are using? They may use a legitimate organization, they may use a real employee, or they may use a URL that looks right, then urgent messages. These are the tricks what the phishers may use. Or even the phrases. What is a phrase means what is a sentences. So we should be very careful enough when we get such type of sentences. They may send verify your account where you have won so much lottery, or within 48 hours you have to close this, or else your account will be something like this. Such type of phrases you will be getting in a mail. So such type was called as a phrases in phishing. So in the same way, methods of phishing: dragnet, rod and reel, lobster pot, and a gillnet. These are the different ways of doing the phishing. So then techniques, what the techniques they are using? They may use a websites, they may use a filters, they may use the website forgery, they may use a flash phishing, social phishing, phone phishing. These are the different phishing techniques. Then sperm phishing, a method of sending a phishing messages to a particular organization to gain organizational information for more target social engineering. Then a spur phisher sends email that appears genuine. So that's what spur phishing is. Whaling, a specific form of phishing, and or spur phishing targeting executives from the top management in the organization, usually from private companies. The objective is to swindle the execution into revealing confidential information. So whaling targets C-level executions, sometimes with the help of information gleaned through sperm phishing aimed in installing malware for key logging or other backdoor access mechanism. So then types of phishing scams. So we have seen about deceptive phishing, malware-based phishing, keylogger, session hijacking, in-session phishing, web torture, farming, system reconfiguration attack, data theft, content injection phishing, man-in-the-middle phishing, search engine phishing, SSL, certificate phishing. Then distributed phishing attacks. What is DPA? Distributed phishing attacks. So how this distributed phishing will be done? Then phishing toolkits and spy phishing. Then what is phishing countermeasures? SPA algorithm to thwart phishing attacks, identity theft, statistics as per Federal Trade Commission. Uh, Credit card fraud 26%, bank fraud 17%, employee fraud 12%, government fraud 9%, loan fraud 5%. So then personal identifiable information PII, frauder attempts to steal the elements mentioned below. So maybe full name, national identification number, telephone and mobile phone number, driver license number, credit card number, digital identity, example email address, online account ID and password, birth date and place name, face and fingerprinting, first or last name, age, country, state or city of residence, gender, name of the school or college or a workplace, job position, grade and or salary, and criminal records. Types of identity theft: financial identity theft, criminal identity theft, identity cloning, business identifying theft, medical theft, synthetic identifying theft, child theft. So these techniques, these are the different types of identifying the theft. What are the techniques of identifying? Maybe I may send my colleague, or I may send my students, or I may send something else, means human based. I'm trying to get the information based on some person, so then that such type is called as a human based. Or I will not use any human, but I use a system, internet, log in into your details, fetch the details. So then that is what is called as a computer based techniques. This is what your thing is. We'll stop here and we'll continue in the next class. Any doubts?
Ma'am,
Able to hear me or just hear? No. Anu present. Chaitra. Chaitra. Murli Krishna. Harshit. Harshit is present. Nilanjan. Nishant.
Yes, ma'am.
Present, ma'am.
Nilanjan and Nishant both are present.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Arshit present, ma'am.
Harshit present. Okay. Okay, so we'll stop here and we'll continue in the next class.